everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today I'm taking a look at a game called Avant Carde, which is, well, about this painting, but it is, you're collecting art. Okay, there's no theme in this game. What this game is, you're building a deck of cards, and then you're playing Uno with your own deck of cards, and then trying to get the best Uno. You know what? I'm going to show you how to play it. We'll be right back. So the first thing to take a look at is how these boxes are put together. So this holds all these starter decks in. So the lid opens like that. And then we untuck this section here. We untuck the two sides. And then it just rolls out like this. So everyone who's playing the game gets to take one of these starter decks. Then we open the gallery box, which is going to have reward cards, and then have decks of different numbers, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Each of these has different colors on it, and they're randomly shuffled, and you can see there's going to be one face up in each spot. Each person's deck is going to be basically the same. You have a bunch of 2s and 1s, and then you have an 11, 12, 13, and 14. The only differences between decks are the colors. Players are going to shuffle these decks, and they're going to be, each round of the game, they're going to be playing 7 cards. Another box, the patron box, is going to be unfurled and placed here to show the special abilities of each of the cards in the game. Now, you can actually, the game comes with other cards that you can replace and have different special abilities, and in fact, it is my preference to not even use the box and just put this here because the whole thing looks a little neater. But anyway, let's talk about how you play. So you're going to have 7 cards in your hand, and everyone's playing simultaneously. And I'm going to look at these cards and try to figure out how I can play as many as I can in a row. So I could play the 2, and then after the 2, play another 2. And then after that 2, play a 2. But I'm kind of done there. That would get me 3. I could play the 1, and then after this, play another 1. And then after that, play this 13 because they're both blue. But my best bet is to play a 2, the orange 2, and then the 14 since those are the same color. Each card that I play is worth $1. In turn order, players are going to be able to buy cards, although at the beginning of your turn, you can discard the top card of a pile and put it at the bottom card. So I didn't want maybe blue, maybe I want purple. And you will buy these cards. The cost of the card is, well, the number of the card itself. Now, each of the cards, as you play them, will give special abilities. Your initial deck has no special abilities other than 2s, and this one's the perfection. If you played the most 2s or tied, you get an extra buck. So in that example I played, I probably did play the most 2s, so I would have 5 instead of 4. This dealer lets me either draw a card when I play a 5, or it's worth an extra coin. The snob lets me trash a card, get rid of one out of my deck, or tuck an extra card, which takes one from the top and put underneath. So each of these has special abilities. Not only that, you'll notice if you spend $6, you get an award. If you spend 8, you get 2. If you spend 10, you get 3. 11, you get 4. And awards are the whole reason the game exists. Whoever gets the most of these is the winner. Once everyone's done buying their cards, you'll add them to your discards. You'll draw until you get 7 again. If you need to draw cards and you don't have any, you'll shuffle your discards, put that together to make a deck, and keep going. And the game will run out when the award pile is gone, and whoever has the most awards is the winner. Now, this is a gimmick, the unfolding box. And you know what? It's definitely a gimmick, and I'm not sure how long these boxes will last, but it does work. The idea of rolling it out, I don't know, there's something about it. People go, ooh, and there's a neat concept to that sort of thing. The gameplay itself with these little decks of cards is really simple. I mean, you have 11, 12, 13, and 14, which essentially they could have just written, anything on those because you're never going to match them through number. They're only matched through color. And then you have 3 1s and 3 2s in your starting deck. and they're going to match the colors of your 11, 12, 13, and 14, but you're not going to get a big thing here. The strategy of this game is not particularly difficult. When you're buying cards from the middle of the table, buy them based on get a bunch of the same number and or color, and then you'll be able to match everything. Then you also want to go by the special abilities, like the 2s, having the most 2s gives you an extra buck, the 3 lets you trash a card, the 4 lets you change a card's number or color, the 5 lets you draw a card, get extra money, the 6 copies the power of a previously played card or gives you a buck, and the 7 lets you draw a card and another card if you played a 5, 6, or 7. But that's just one of many, like I said, of these, and I don't know how many of these came with the Kickstarter and how many would come in this if you buy it, but there's some differences here where you can change them. So if there's a negative about these special abilities, and they're great and all, but they're not printed on the card, and it's easy to forget what they do as you're playing them. There's no symbol on the card, and I know they did that so that you can change what the special abilities are as you play a game. I just wish it wasn't so much, because they're only one way on the table, you're trying to look to see what that special ability does. That's a minor complaint, but it is something that some people are going to notice. The colors are easy to differentiate because they have different dots or lines on them. And it is fun. I mean, you're sitting there, it's simultaneous play, and everyone's sitting there going, nah, nah, nah. But there is a lot of luck to the game. Obviously, sometimes that perfect hand comes out, and sometimes it doesn't. But overall, the game feels fresh and interesting. If you know people who like lighter games, this is one I think that they can do well with. I love deck building games where you build a deck of cards. In this one, you're building a deck of cards to play Uno. That works for me. It's just simple. It's fun. I put the cards out. I see what happens. I buy some cards. This game is over very quickly. The box here says 25 to 35. That might even be pushing it. Once you know what you're doing, you're going to play games in 15, 20 minutes. And then you'll probably play again because you unfolded the whole game. So the only thing I would really kind of knock against this game is the storage solution. It's clever and interesting. I don't know how well it works for the long term, and it is a bit of a pain sometimes to wrap the cards up. But the look of the game works for me. The simplicity and how light the game is, I think I enjoy that. There's just some special cards. It's kind of a casual game as I'm sitting there just casually having a good time with my friends while we're doing it. And when you get a great run of cards, it's just a lot of fun. And so this one I'm giving an 8 out of 10. I think it's interesting. Definitely one that people want to check out. Avant Carde.